There's a little or small L letter in black. What is L stands for?
Actually, L stands for love. I'm joking.
This is a CineD Gear News video.
Hi, I'm Johnny from CineD, and I'm here with Wakamatsu-san from Sigma. Wakamatsu-san, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you very much. I would like to ask a few questions because I do have the camera right here, and it was really nice working with it, the Sigma FP-L. The design of the camera is very much the same like the older model. The only difference is there's a little or small L letter in black. So what is L stands for?
According to the ideas exchanges in our office, it can be considered standing for leap. Actually, any wording starts with L, such as liberty and that, but that matches the idea behind FP or work.
Here is an idea. Let's try to ask the community to come up with a really nice what L means for your camera. I mean, we can really ask them to come up with some ideas. But before they do this, the L itself is black. The color is black, and it's hardly noticeable on the black body. And you know, when people are buying new stuff, they want to show sometimes that they have a new camera in their hands. So why is the decision to keep it black and so low-key?
The reason we black painted L is we wanted to give a consistent image of the FP series, and the glossy black engraved logo looks pretty cool.
Look, if you like it, I really hope that the audience will love it. But the actual size and the actual design, it's literally the same.
Yes, basically it's same as our existing FP.
Wakamatsu-san, can you please maybe outline the most important changes that you have with this new FP-L camera?
Okay, it's a crop zoom function. That is a unique function of FP-L. The crop zoom function have a 5 times crop factor until up to Full HD, while maintaining Full HD quality by pinching in and pinching out actions from the center of the screen. Even for 5 times, the camera records Full HD quality, and even for 2.6 times, the camera records UHD quality. So this function was realized by using an ultra high resolution 61 megapixel image sensor.
So this is one function. Can you please share with us what else is new in terms of camera functionality with the new model?
One of the features of this camera is a save and load setting by QR code. This function enables you to import and export camera settings via QR code. It's really useful for multi-camera operations like this interview because you can change settings quickly without mistakes. Actually, I'm using 2 cameras for this interview. Before this interview, our staff sets a lot of settings without mistakes. So for this situation, this QR code is pretty useful, I guess.
And can it be used also with the older model?
Yes, we will provide this function, save and load settings by QR code for our existing FP as a firmware update.
That's very nice and very useful. And actually, how come nobody else is doing it? I mean, it's so nice and so easy to transfer settings between cameras exactly for what you said, to avoid mistakes in such an easy way. Good, so we have the crop zoom recording, and we have the QR code scanning for multiple settings, multiple camera settings. Anything else?
This camera also offers a screenshot function, like what you can do on your smartphones. As usual, you do it. When you set the display shows information like focal length and focal distance, etc., you can capture and record them into an image as an image. So I believe it's really useful for location hunting before you go large format production. I suppose it's a fantastic feature for reviewers also. So, Johnny, isn't it?
I'm trying to think how I will be using it in some reviews, but I'm sure when I will dive into it, I will find some usage to it. I think it's also very, we have to say that you made a lot of other enhancements. Obviously, this is the second generation of your camera. From the outside, it looks the same, but the inside and the most significant thing is that you have a completely new sensor. As you said before, it's a 61 megapixel sensor. So, first of all, why did you feel like changing the sensor? And then I will ask something about the video quality. But first of all, why did you have the urge to change the sensor?
Basically, this FP series is a multi-role camera because it is used as a still camera, of course, cinema camera, director's viewfinder, and webcam. So we would like to improve every aspect of this camera. So it's important to improve resolution of still image. So that's why we made this decision to feature our 61 megapixel sensor.
And you personally don't have concerns that actually by implementing a higher resolution sensor, you're actually deteriorating the image quality when it comes to video? Because at the end, the more pixels the sensor has, the low light capabilities, for example, might suffer. How is the case with this new camera?
Yes, for filmmakers will get the benefit from this sensor because, as I said, the crop zoom function and also faster and well-tracked autofocus because the image sensor has phase detection autofocus pixel and a wider dynamic range actually. For most people who are knowledgeable, they might have a wonder of the higher resolution because usually it means smaller pixels and narrower dynamic range. However, our skilled color scientists achieved a wider dynamic range through their efforts.
And how do you predict that the low light capabilities of the camera will be if I compare it to the previous model?
The existing FP is superior than new FPL.
Thank you for being transparent about this. You mentioned phase detection autofocus. So first of all, congratulations. It's always nice to see when a manufacturer is moving from contrast-based autofocus to phase detection. When was the point that you, as the project leader and the planner, decided that's it, let's move on to something a bit more modern and more usable for video usage? And what should we expect in terms of, again, the video part? Like, is it a really very fast autofocus, continuous autofocus, or this is something that will still be developed with time?
Yes, you can expect for the new autofocus system, hybrid autofocus, that is consists of phase detection autofocus and contrast autofocus. Is faster and well-tracked autofocus.
And since you're going to have actually two models in the market, the older FP and the new FPL, are both going to continue and be sold? And if yes, what will be the price difference between the cameras?
Yes, both FP and FPL will be available. The price of FPL will be $2,500 approximately US dollars without the VAT.
And what about accessories? Obviously, you have a wide range of accessories, and everything that you designed for the original model can still fit the new one?
Yes, because both FP and FPL share the same design of their bodies and connections.
And talking about accessories, you also have a new EVF, which is right now installed on the camera that I have from you guys. Can you please tell me about the process of designing, or actually why did you come up with doing a new EVF? You had this older attachment, which was actually kind of allowing you to view through the LCD. So why did you come up with an EVF?
Yeah, after we released the existing FP, we have received requests of EVF from all over the world, pretty a lot. So, but there were several technical issues we should solve. So eventually, we overcame those technical challenges. Our engineers made it real.
And will this EVF be available also for the older model? In sense, can you attach it?
Yes, we are planning to release a new firmware that is compatible with this EVF. And the firmware also offers new functions and improvements that FPL has, except for crop zoom function, as I said.
A bit of a tricky question, because it kind of became a trend in the last few months to release cameras from other manufacturers which actually have no EVF. Now you just introduce a new EVF, but will this EVF can be attached to other cameras that have a HDMI or even power via USB?
Actually, no. You cannot use it as a universal EVF. We don't have the plan so far, but if users want it strongly, please send us the request, and we always hear and read it. I understand you want to use this EVF for other cameras as a universal EVF, because this EVF also has the latest 3.68 million dots OLED panel, that is latest one, and a high quality optical system. Those devices offer pretty clear images anywhere you use it. So I understand you want to use it.
Actually, this EVF has another very nice feature, and that's headphone jack, which is a very nice thing, because the original camera didn't have a way to monitor the audio. So I'm very thankful that you guys designed the EVF in such a way that actually it can be used also for audio monitoring. Thank you very much for that.
Sure. Yeah, about our connections, this EVF also has USB-C terminal and a phone jack that the FP series doesn't have. It means you can use an SSD for recording cinema DNG while you attach this EVF, and you can finally monitor the sound while recording.
Very nice. But what you cannot do, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this is just for clarification, since you're using the HDMI on the camera, there is no other way to connect another HDMI device like an external recorder.
True. Yeah, because this EVF uses the HDMI connections as video monitoring connections from the camera. So yeah, there are no way to use other devices, either monitors or recorders, while you use this EVF.
Okay, back to the camera. You said that you enhance the color off mode of the camera. And please, if you can explain a little bit about this enhancement, and will this enhancement roll off to the original FP?
Before I explain about the enhancement of the color mode off, I would like to talk about the misunderstanding. I guess there is some misunderstanding about color mode off, because color mode off is a flat picture profile literally that is not added a tone curve by this camera. That's why it's used for low over HDMI recording like Blackmagic Design or Atmos Ninja 5. So as we talked before, we couldn't implement a log recording function. So I guess this color mode off is only flat picture profile. And we choose its sharpness about as an enhancement of this color mode off. We change its sharpness so that the image will be softer. We thought the color mode off just turn off the color mode, but our users expected more log-like soft look for this color mode off. So then we tuned it again to make the look closer to log, softer one. But please note, it is not equal to log technically.
Okay, that's clear. But when you say a softer image, and this is of course nice to hear, but is it done by reducing, or let me say, noise reduction is working here or not working here?
It's difficult to explain about the image pipeline, but yeah, I can say only our color scientists retuned the image pipeline, and it's been done by several factors.
Good. So if I have to conclude after working with the camera, and I hope you will agree, and I know that Sigma is usually very transparent with the audience. The original camera was in many ways a revolutionary product. Very small, very capable. You tagged it as a cinema camera. And the new one looks to me more as an evolution and not another revolution. From your perspective, what type of users should use it?
As I said, this camera is one of the variant of our FP series that can be used as a multi-role camera. Still camera, CineD camera, director's viewfinder, also webcam. That's why I hope this camera will be used by various users, especially for director's viewfinder users, because we also offer a new function, custom frame line function. It's also practical, because you can add a rectangle that can be customized, the size of the frame, colors, width of its line, etc. It's a long-awaited function for director's viewfinder users.
How about internal raw recording? Because obviously you are already doing some raw recording. You're just kind of outputting it to either Blackmagic Design monitor or the Ninja 5 in both variation, Blackmagic Raw or Apple ProRes. But why not do some compressed raw recording? Because obviously you are able to record cinema DNG within the camera, but for some people or some users, maybe this is not very functional to work like this. Any plans or any technical ability to do this?
It's difficult to implement the compressed raw recording function to this camera, because the platform of this camera isn't compatible with the compressed image pipeline.
I understand. Wakamatsu-san, thank you very much for your time. As always, it was really a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And guys, thank you very much for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.